everybody. Welcome to Live at 5. It is Thursday, December 13th, and I'm Caitlin Moynihan.
I'm Andy Lefkowitz.
And over there, who we got?
Hello, it's me. It's me, Eric.
How are you? Hey, Eric.
I like those little crab hands you did today. We have an amazing guest today.
We sure do. We have Nancy Opel here, Tony nominee Nancy Opel of WICKED.
Of WICKED, and it's even better because it's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
And it's her birthday gift she's giving instead of receiving today. She's giving us the gift of her presence.
Yes.
The present. All right, before we get to talk to her, we're going to do today's top 5.
Nice.
I'm waving through a window, eh?
That's really good. And that is not about come
like
from
that
away.
One.
But
good.
No, that's kind of cool.
You should have booed me.
So we have the star of the Toronto production of Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes.
His name is Robert Marcus, and he is
with a K.
With a K.
Marcus with a K.
He is a Toronto-based actor, and he has performed 3 seasons at the Stratford Festival, and he's been in productions of Tommy, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Music Man, Fiddler on the Roof, all in Canada. Super exciting. This production is going to play Toronto's Royal Alexandra Theatre beginning on March 5th, 2019. Now, what's cool is this is the first international production of Dear Evan Hansen.
Probably not the last one.
Probably not the last one.
But the first one, it's super exciting.
Yeah, so Canadians, go check him out.
Yes, congratulations, Robert.
And this Broadway musical is going anywhere but here.
Oh, okay. I like that one. Yeah. So speaking of international stagings of popular productions, Pretty Woman is going across the seas. It is going to Germany. So it's the first international staging of Pretty Woman, which is currently running at the Niederlander Theater.
Yeah.
We know that it's playing at Hamburg, Germany, at the Stage Theater Anderelb.
Yeah, that's some German wordage there.
I only know like 3 words in German, and that's not one of them. But it's playing there. In 2019, previews begin September 23rd, and opening night set for September 29th. So that's a very quick preview moment. Very quick. But
so lucky audiences in Germany.
Lucky audiences in Germany. Yeah. We don't know the cast, but I'm sure we'll know that soonish.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
I would assume so.
I mean, but we'll figure out, we'll tell you all about it once we find out about it. But very exciting, Pretty Woman going across the country, across seas, the world, not just the country, the world.
How do you say big mistake, huge in German? Someone should look that up. Casting is in for this off-Broadway revival.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this.
I'm actually so excited about this.
So this is the signature theater revival of By the Way, Meet Vera Stark, which is a play by Lynn Nottage, which debuted at Second Stage Theater way back in the day. I saw it back then. Such a good play. The new production is going to star Jenny Barber, Jessica Francis Dukes, Tony nominee Manuel Feliciano, Warner Miller, Cara Patterson, Heather Alicia Sims, and David Turner. Such a fantastic play. Yeah. This begins previews at Signature on January 29th, 2019.
It's soon.
And opens on February 19th.
It's soon.
So check out this production. I believe this was the first play that debuted after Lynn Nottage won her first Pulitzer for Ruined. It's more of a comedy than Ruined, and it's definitely worth checking out at Signature.
And she has the Fabulation.
Fabulation is also
that just got extended last week. So I think
true.
when that ends, this will start. She's iconic. You got to see it.
For sure.
Booked and busy. Okay, and speaking of more off-Broadway play casting news, an Oscar nominee has been cast in this upcoming production.
Yeah, so The Mother, which is it a sequel to The
Father?
We'll get to it. Let me read it real quick. So the Atlantic Theater Company's upcoming U.S. premiere of The Mother has announced its full casting. So Golden Globe nominee Chris Noth, who we all know as Mr. Big, from Sex and the City.
And from Law and Order fame way back in the day.
And from The Good Wife. Don't erase The Good Wife.
Look at that, man.
We don't want to have good wife erasure over here. Also joining him is Justice Smith from The Get Down and Odessa Young. She was just in Days of Rage.
And, of course, Academy Award nominee Isabel Huppert.
So super excited. That's going to be a really exciting cast. So this is by Florian Zeller, who was the playwright of The Father.
Right.
And it is also adapted. It's adapted by Christopher Hampton, also of The Father.
Yeah, so those are French plays that were adapted for the U.S.
So I feel like this is kind of seen as like a sequel moment. It all goes together.
Yeah.
It all goes together. And also directing it is Trip Coleman, who he did Lobby Hero, and he's doing the upcoming Choir Boy.
That is
so
correct.
he's busy, booked and busy, as Eric said. The production is going to begin previews on February 20th, 2019, and it's opening night for March 11th. And let me tell you about it real quick.
Yeah.
The Mother is described as a captivating and disquieting new play about a woman grasping for stability.
Okay.
So, seems amazing. Can't wait to check it out.
Check it out at the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And the last Broadway opening of the year is tonight.
That is true. So
It's
To Kill a
happening.
Mockingbird opens on Broadway tonight. This is
Yay.
a highly anticipated production.
So excited.
This is Aaron Sorkin's adaptation of Harper Lee's Pulitzer-winning novel.
Mm-hmm.
It opens at the Schubert Theater tonight. The cast includes Jeff Daniels, Celia Keenan-Bolger, Will Pullen, Gideon Glick, and a lot of other talented Broadway folks.
So many people.
Definitely check out this production.
We're so
It's going to be a tough ticket to get.
And we'll have
Yeah.
some cute little pics from Arrivals
We
going
sure
up
will.
tomorrow. Got all those nice little details going on. So
Yes.
congratulations to everybody at To Kill a Mockingbird. So
You bet it.
excited. Oh, wait, I did wanted to say one more
Yeah,
thing
sure.
before you leave. Voting for Star of the Year
Yes.
ends tonight
At
at
midnight,
midnight.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we have 11 incredible actors and performers up there. Please vote. It's pretty tight. It's a tight race right
Yeah,
now. I
it
mean, how do
is.
you choose? That's why we're not choosing. We're making you guys choose. So be sure to vote for your Star
sure
of the
to vote,
Year,
guys.
and we'll reveal that sometime next week. Don't know when, but it's happening. So,
Sure will.
well, thank you for coming.
bet it, Caitlin.
I would like to talk to the birthday girl now, though.
For sure.
So, Eric,
why don't
could
you
you?
tell us?
Would love
about Nancy?
to. Nancy Opel is currently playing Madame Morrible in Wicked, which marks her 14th Broadway production. 15th Broadway production. She earned a Tony nomination for her turn in Urinetown, and her other credits include Beautiful, Honeymoon in Vegas, Cinderella, Memphis, Gypsy, Fiddler on the Roof, and Evita. Opel has been seen on screen in All My Children, It Could Be Worse, and so much more. Be sure to follow her on social media at OpelNYC on Instagram, and leave all your questions in the comments below. Please welcome Nancy and Caitlin.
Hi.
Hi.
You're here.
I am.
It's your birthday.
It is.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How's your day today? How'd you celebrate your birthday so far?
Well, I slept until 9 a.m., which is late for me, and
Yes.
I really loved that. And then I had a friend who brought me Shake Shack.
That's a
Wow.
good friend right there.
I have not eaten that sort of thing in quite a while
How you
because
feeling?
I'm of an age and a metabolism that can't really handle it. So it was real great to have a Shack burger and a milkshake. I enjoyed it tremendously.
You went double duty there.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. And, you know, I'm also really looking forward to my birthday cake at the show.
Oh, yes.
I get a birthday cake
And
at the
everyone
show.
sings to you.
And everybody sings to you, yeah.
We'll probably see it all over Instagram stories.
You know what? It's really nice to have a show family at the holidays.
Yeah.
And my birthday's at the holidays too, so it's
a nice
it's
little all
nice.
wrapped
Yeah,
up in
it's nice. Yeah, it's nice
one.
to have a place to go, and you go like, I'm real grateful for my job, and I'm happy to be working, and my daughter's getting married next year.
So exciting. You have a lot
Yeah.
happening
I
right
do
now.
have a lot
And,
happening.
you know, you corrected us. This is your 15th Broadway show.
Yes, it is.
And-
And this is I'm in the middle of my 4th week at
I know.
Wicked.
It's amazing. So let's talk about that first. So how are you feeling? You're in Wicked.
I am.
Your 15th show. It just celebrated its 15th anniversary.
I know. Isn't that-
Coincidence?
I know.
mean,
I know. They've
just
been
saying.
waiting for a while to put me in.
Yeah,
They're
that-
waiting for the
no,
15.
Yeah,
They
the
go
perfect moment. We need to-
15 and 15. Yeah, that's perfect. No, this is the first time I even auditioned.
Really?
Yep.
Tell me about that. How did this happen? You're Madame Morrible. Fill
Well,
me in.
I just kept saying to my manager, like over the last few years ago, couldn't I possibly get in for an audition for Madame Morrible, please? Because I really think I'd be real good.
Yeah.
And so, and then it did actually finally happen, like right around Labor Day. I had an audition, and I was ready.
You're like, this is my time to shine.
That's
I've
what
been
I
waiting
said. I
for
said,
this.
I am ready for this. So yeah, so I went in and I booked it, which made me very happy.
Amazing. And audiences are loving you in this role.
Well, I hope they are.
Yeah. So how does it feel to kind of join this incredible company? I mean, it's Wicked. I feel like it's not a show you have to explain to a lot of people. A lot of people quite know.
You know what?
What the Wicked is.
No, but here's the thing. I feel very, what is the word? I sort of feel autonomous insofar as I have replaced in shows before where they go, okay, take 3 steps that way, turn this way, and lift your index finger. And that's not the way this is.
No.
You definitely feel more like you can bring what you bring, you know, to a character, which to me is a wonderful sort of freeing experience that you have that kind of autonomy, and that there's the kind of trust that's there for you to like really sort of do what you do. So in that regard, it's been a very pleasant experience learning the show.
Yeah.
Our stage manager is tremendous. Mary Beth Abel is just amazing, and you know, I felt very well prepared. I had a couple of weeks of rehearsal and watching behind the scenes and everything. That's the place where you feel the most scared because you're like, oh my gosh, you know, like spears, swords, bubbles.
A lot of bubbles.
Yes, things are happening here. That's the only place where you sort of feel like, oh gosh, I've got to be careful so I'm not in people's way. But once I sort of got that kind of like backstage choreography, it's been really fun. I feel fantastic. It's also the loveliest company of people.
Yeah, they're pretty great over there at Wicked.
They're all so lovely. And Katie Rose Clark.
I was gonna say Katie Rose. She just joined.
We did our first show together Tuesday night.
Oh, how'd it go?
It went great.
Amazing, I bet.
Yeah, and Jesse.
I was gonna say
JP
and you
Johnson.
joined right with Jamie.
I joined with Jamie Jackson.
Yeah, you joined with Jamie, and he's now Dr. Dillamond.
Yeah, he's also great.
You guys joined on the same day, November 20th,
We did,
right?
We did.
So yeah, you've been there for quite a little bit. And
Yeah,
you're starting to feel a little bit more like home over there.
Yeah, it's just weird because, you know, like we joined Thanksgiving week.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, we go like, let's do 2 shows and let's have a day off.
Yeah.
No, it's actually, you did 3 shows and then a day off. And I went, okay, that's weird. And now we're going to go like, okay, Katie Rose came in, Jesse came in, and now we're going to do like a whole bunch of shows together.
Yeah.
And then have a day off. So it's been an interesting sort of schedule thing that's going on.
Because we were talking about this a little bit before, how, you know, holiday schedules and Broadway, because, you know, the tourists, we love you guys. Please keep coming to Broadway, see our Broadway shows, experience Broadway. And it kind of changes your schedule a little bit. And you talked a little about finding that family in the theater, especially among holidays. Do you feel like it's kind of like a camaraderie? Because you guys you see each other more than you see your family sometimes, I feel like.
Well, you know, you go there every day and you want to be with people that are nice.
Yeah.
And they are really, really nice. It is I can't recall the last time that I was in a place that had this many nice people all at once.
I love that.
I'm serious. It's really just been fantastic that we are all together right now. And the holidays are great because I mean, obviously, you know, Wicked audiences are incredibly enthusiastic, which is sensational. And adding the holiday onto that, the holiday spirit onto that is super fun.
I love that. You know, and I have to bring this up because it's me, but I just need to talk a little bit about...
I'm not going to talk about how old I am.
No.
But my name is Nancy, so you can pretty well guess what decade I was born in.
No, we're the same age. We're the same age. I want to talk to you a little bit about a little show called Youre in Town.
Okay.
You may have heard of it. Everybody out there, you may have heard of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen kind of an increase in people campaigning for more Youre in Town content over the past few years.
Really?
Oh yeah. Have you seen Head Over Heels Bonnie Milligan saying "Privilege to Pee"?
I've not.
You need to look it up.
Okay,
It's
I'll look it up.
incredible. But I feel like there's been a new renaissance,
a resurgence
of you know, justice for Youre in Town, and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
How, you know, looking back, Tony nominee for that role, and all your incredible career so far, because you have a lot,
so much more to
so
go.
much more to go. Everybody, how does it feel to look back and see when you became a Tony nominee with Youre in Town in your career since then?
You know what? There's nothing that feels any better than sitting at Radio City Music Hall and going like, hey, I'm like in the front row. There's something really fun. You're like, okay, this is cool. This is pretty cool. Because, you know, you watch it every year on TV, and I said, all right, this is neat. And I've performed in a few Tony Award shows.
Casual, that's fine.
But it's great. I mean, it was one of those shows that kind of comes around and you don't expect it because it comes from an unknown, unexpected place. You know, John Rando, as a matter of fact, I heard about the show. I was at a Millennium Christmas party.
Love that.
And John Rando came up to me and he said, listen, I'm working on this show. It's called You're in Town. Don't say anything about it. Let me just send it to you.
Don't judge a show by its name.
That's back in the day when they had to messenger a show to you.
I love that.
Right? So he messengered the show, and I just went, oh, wow. Because it was really sensational. It was a sensational read. There were a lot of people who didn't feel that way when they read it. But it just spoke to me in some way. And you know what? It still speaks to people, and it should speak to people about, there's a lot of issues and topics and everything that come up, and they're kind of still important. Maybe more important.
Maybe more important now than, maybe. Just look into it. Look into it. If you don't know You're in Town, please do yourself a favor.
Yeah, well, you know, like every high school has done You're in Town, practically.
Pretty much.
I have done so many workshops with You're in Town casts all around the country. I've gone a lot of places. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because we're listing off your just a little bit of your career earlier on, and as I was doing some digging, I meant to print it out, but I found a photo of you and Miss Oprah. Do you remember that photo? I think it was when she visited Memphis.
That was Memphis.
What was Oprah like?
She was unbelievable. I mean, she's unbelievable. Everybody knows she's unbelievable. And she had brought a bunch of kids from that school that she started. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of young girls were there that night too. There was a lot going on that night.
Okay.
But yeah, she was lovely. I didn't get much of a chance to talk to her really because it was just like a madhouse.
Yeah. And it's Oprah.
Yeah, and it's Oprah. Although I was very excited that the same in Memphis, I met Joe Biden.
Wow, like Memphis really bringing in the people.
It really, well, you know what? This show really brings in people too. Wicked. There's like somebody famous in somebody's dressing room. They're not in my dressing room, but there's somebody famous like in one of the dressing rooms almost every night. I mean it. There's always people there.
There's always someone there.
Yeah, kind of.
I love that.
Yeah.
Coolio. So, Eric.
Hello.
Do we got some questions from the fans?
Well, we were talking about You're in Town, and
we brought out the You're in Town
literally this young woman said, my high school theater company just closed You're in Town. I know the show has affected me and showed me different perspectives. How do you think it influenced your life and your perspectives? That was from Abby.
You know what? I think the thing that was pretty cool about You're in Town is that because it was a weird read for people, when we sort of made the step after off-Broadway, with that little tiny theater where we did it kind of very under the radar, and they wanted to move to Broadway, honestly, the nice thing about it was, I mean, barring John Cullum, really, who was a very well-known Broadway star, the rest of us are, just kind of like did Broadway shows, And that was the kind of cool thing, is that we got the opportunity to play these parts. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, there's so much money riding on stuff. People want like a sure bet that this is going to bring people, and people are going to, watch your show or whatever. And I don't know whether they could never find anybody else.
No, you were perfect for it. That's why.
I don't know whether they could never find anyone to do the roles, or whether they just go, no, that Nancy Opel is so perfect for that part. She's just got to do it.
I think it's that one.
I prefer to think of that.
It was 100% that.
But you know what? It's a funny thing that I think you have to bestow sort of that kind of stuff on yourself in a way that you just go like, of course I can do this.
Yeah.
You just like, of course I can. Which is why also when you come into like Wicked or something like, you go like, I got this. I got this.
Yes.
I'm going to put on the outfit and I got this.
Put on that wig, honey.
Yeah. So I don't know whether it really changed anything. It just sort of reinforced that I was in the right business.
Well, you are. You're definitely in the right business.
You just go like, okay, you're not gonna become something else now. No midlife crisis.
This is it. This is what you're stuck on. Love that.
Broadway Shar would like to know, what is your favorite part to watch or listen to in Wicked every night?
Oh man, I've got two things. One of them is the orchestral sort of music that plays in that second, like that big ballroom scene. It's yada, da, 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 da. It is just like the most beautiful thing. It is so perfect. You know, when they all come out and dance, it sort of looks like Cinderella's ball, except it's not that. It's you know,
it's not your grandma's ball.
Oh, it sounds so beautiful. I just love that sort of just those phrases right there, because it's not a whole song really. And then you know what else I love? Is it called No Good Deed? Is that what it's called?
Correct.
Is that the name of the tune?
Yeah.
No Good Deed?
That's it. It's a bop.
You know what? Listen, I've had hard sings in my life. I've done some hard sings in my life.
Yes.
But I get to that place, and it's the end of the show. Well, Miss Jessica Vosk has already done like all these gigantic, iconic numbers. And then, just for fun, let's sing No Good Deed.
Why not? Let's throw it.
In the last, I don't know, what is it, the last 10 minutes of the show or something? I mean, it's really very much towards the end of the show that she sings that. And I listen to it every night like, how can you do that? You're just like bionic. Seriously, it's like bionic that she can do that.
It doesn't make sense.
But those are my two favorite things.
I love that.
And then this can be our last one. One viewer would like to know, what was your first professional stage experience? Could you take us through that story? Or
I certainly could.
Okay.
I grew up in Kansas City. When I was in high school, I did the sort of community theater stuff, and somebody in the community theater was directing something, and he said, hey, you know what might be fun for you? Because he was a professional actor. Okay. I think it might be fun for you to go and audition for the local dinner theater's production of The Boyfriend. Because just to see what a professional audition is like, okay, I'll try that. Because I would do anything anybody said. They go like, why don't you do this? Why don't you audition for Juilliard? And I go like, okay, sure, why not?
I got this.
Always. I would just like go, okay. Because I didn't know anything. But seriously, I didn't know anything. And sometimes it's better to not know anything. But I said, okay. So he kind of prepared me like what it was going to be like. And I went in, and it was The Boyfriend, and they said, okay, well, sing for us. I did. I read some scenes, and then I did a really, really terrible dance call. I mean, a terrible dance call.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
Bad. But it didn't matter because I was cute at the end.
Yeah. You got to stick it. You got to stick the landing, and you're set.
I did. I was so bad, and then I would do the end. This is really true. This is really true. I just thought, oh, that was a really nice experience. That was. What are you saying to me? You're offering me the role of Polly Brown in The Boyfriend? I'm like, I'm 16 years old. I'm still in high school, And I like go, well, this is my answer. I have to ask my parents. I have to ask my parents if I can do this. And I did, and yeah, so that was my first professional job, and I did like 3 shows there while I was still in high school.
Casual, normal high school activities.
And then I put aside my professional career for a moment, went to Juilliard, and then
that's not
put aside just
professional.
And then life ensued.
And here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
15 Broadway shows later.
15 Broadway shows
on your
later.
birthday.
Yeah.
And here with us. You're in Wicked.
Yeah, I know.
You're Madame Morrible.
It could hardly get any better than this, honestly.
The only way it could get better is if you guys go see her in Wicked. All right?
That is the answer. Thank you. That is the answer.
I'm here for you.
And revive You're in Town.
Yeah.
That is the
Revive You're in
answer.
Town.
That is the answer. And if you can't get in because you're too busy before Christmas, come after Christmas. We'd love to see you in January and February. Love to. Love to.
We'd love to see you all the days.
I'll come out and say hey.
She will. That's
totally
a guarantee.
will.
No, I'm kidding. We're not going to guarantee
It's pretty much almost a guarantee. I go out and sign every night. So
she said it herself.
I'm not going tonight. Don't look for me tonight.
She's busy partying. It's her birthday.
It's my birthday.
Give her a break. She had Shake Shack today.
It's my birthday, so I'm actually going out to dinner. But every other night, I'm pretty much there.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for coming on your birthday again. It was so nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Again, please go see Wicked. You guys are going to love it. Eric, can you please take us out?
Stunning, yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 on Facebook every single day. And if you like podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Search hashtag live at 5 and slam that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we talk to Alex Boniello of Dear Evan Hansen.